When they trash Trump, they mean to trash you. Tens of millions of you. MAGA. So horrible. Make America great again. They want to fundamentally transform America. Who stands in their way? You do. MAGA. Constitution. Conservatism. Capitalism. Individualism. You stand in their way. They want to rejigger society. You can't rejigger society without controlling you. Michelle Obama, how do you defend being a Democrat? The Civil War was fought between the North and the South, the Confederacy and the Union, between the Republican Party and the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party was the party of slavery. The Democrat Party, its generals after the Civil War, formed the Ku Klux Klan. It was always an appendage to the Democrat Party, even though the media wants you to pretend it wasn't. It came to segregation. It was the Democrat Party that supported segregation. You know, it's funny, you look at the case Plessy versus Ferguson in 1896. The Louisiana Railroad system was privately owned. They didn't do separate but equal. They actually integrated their train cars. The state went in and sued them and said no. It went all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court, the federal U.S. Supreme Court, that issued the Plessy versus Ferguson decision and ruled separate but equal is equal. And not until Brown versus Board of Education was separate but equal segregation overturned. Not until the 1950s. That was the Democrat Party. 1940, as I've said over and over, but you cannot say enough, their great hero, Franklin Roosevelt. The great hero of the Marxists and Socialists in America. Bernie Sanders, great hero, FDR. 1940, the United States Congress, led by the Republicans, but some Northern Democrats supported it, sent a bill to Franklin Roosevelt, and it hit his desk, the Resolute desk, a federal law outlawing lynching, and he wouldn't sign it because he was afraid he'd lose Democrat votes in the South. He wouldn't sign it. That's the Democrat Party convention. And they keep trying to convince you that it's the Republicans, that it's Trump who are racists, who are against blacks. The Democrat Party fundamentally has not changed. The Democrat Party was for eugenics. Woodrow Wilson, another horrendous segregationist and racist. He resegregated the military, resegregated the civil service. Yes. After Taft and Roosevelt had desegregated them, he resegregated them. In the federal civil service, he now required that people provide a photograph with their applications for jobs in order that the cabinet, at his order, would not hire black people. You aware of this? It's in my book, The Democrat Party Hates America. It's right there, a full chapter. Of course, today they don't support eugenics. No, they support abortion on demand. Right up to the last second. Oh, and today we have a vice presidential nominee on the Democrat Party who supports medical or surgical operations on little kids to change their sex because psychiatrists and psychologists, some, think that's okay, that's a good thing. Just like they thought eugenics was okay 100 years ago. This generation, particularly this party, is going to be condemned by historians, assuming this country is still around. Because you don't do these things to children. This is the party where the Hamasians, AKA the Hitler Youth, the supporters of Iran, Dearborn, Michigan, where their presidential nominee has a secret meeting with the mayor, the 34-year-old mayor of Dearborn, who's a Jew hater, who's an anti-Semite, who believes in the destruction of Israel, who's a supporter of Hamas. She has a secret meeting with him. And he walks away very happy. She must have told him that, yes, she will boycott arms to Israel, do something. That's your Democrat Party. It's not the Republican Party. The Republican Party has been consistent about all of this from the beginning. You treat human beings as human beings, regardless of their faith, regardless of their sex, regardless of their color. The Republican Party was founded in the 1850s to fight slavery. It was an abolitionist party. That's what it was founded on, to fight the Democrat Party. We fight the Democrat Party today. It's a tyrannical party. It might change its camouflage, but at its core, it is what it is. What I wrote in American Marxism is, today, what we have in Obama, her husband, Bernie Sanders, in the radical left, in the Democrat Party, are what I call civil rights Marxists. That is, they've taken the phrase, the meaning, the belief system behind civil liberties and civil rights, that each of us should be treated as individual human beings, period. They've stolen it. Civil rights now means the Marxist agenda. The Marxist agenda. If you don't support it, then you're a racist. If you don't support it, then you're an anti-Semite, even though they're the anti-Semites. If you don't support it, you're against human rights. If you don't support it, fill in the blank. Civil rights Marxism. That's what it's become, and they've broken it down into little pieces in the United States. Race, religion, economics, and so forth. Climate change is the Marxist degrowth movement. Degrowth movement. Eliminate oil, eliminate fracking, eliminate the combustion engine, the economy contracts. Government control of prices, the economy contracts. That's Marxism. So-called civil rights Marxism. You replace equality with equity. Doesn't matter. We all start at a different place. We have to end in the same place, she says. That's Cambodia 20 years ago, under Pol Pot, where we all wind up in the rice paddies, the rice fields together. That's not humanity. Yes, you start out at a different place and you end at a different place. It doesn't mean you can't succeed. It doesn't mean rich people won't become poor people and poor people won't become rich people. The most dynamic, vigorous system, economic system, recognizes and embraces individual liberty. And they work hand in hand. It's called free market capitalism. Economic socialism is about government decisions. It's about Michelle and her husband and Bernie Sanders and their ilk deciding who should get what. There's always going to be redistribution of wealth. It's never static. The question is whether you and I get to participate in that decision by our own decisions, or whether the government redistributes wealth. Capitalism is always about redistributing wealth. Here's $10 for a fast food meal. I just redistributed wealth, voluntarily, freely. But when the government says you will give us 25% of your wealth, of your ownership, that's the police state and the iron fist telling you, we will redistribute wealth, we will destroy the economic system, we will destroy your free will and your ability to make decisions for you and your family. That's the difference. I won't get any more complicated into negative and positive freedom again, I promise you. So when she stands up there and gives the usual bromides, the platitudes, the propaganda, and they trash Trump. But when they trash Trump, they mean to trash you. Tens of millions of you. MAGA. So horrible. Make America great again. They want to fundamentally transform America. Who stands in their way? You do. MAGA. Constitution. Conservatism. Capitalism. Individualism. You stand in their way. They want to rejigger society. You can't rejigger society without controlling you. Go.
See, his limited, narrow view of the world made him feel threatened by the existence of two hard-working, highly educated, successful people who happen to be black.
See what I mean? This racist crap. That's all she's got. I am not a fan of Michelle Obama. I don't care how much the media promote her. I don't care how much the media promote her. Her bigoted language, her racist language is nonstop. And here she is standing there. Former First Lady of the United States. A multimillionaire. Multimillionaire. Rather than telling people, you can make it too. You can participate in this society. You can be whatever you want to be. Rather than encourage people, she trashes the country. She plays the race card because she has no other card. That's what she does. That's what her husband does. That's how they become super rich and super famous. That's all they've got.
For all this and much more, sign up for Levin TV.